What's going on? Bandito here with Let's Ride podcast today. Here with the hat. You know what I mean? I was a little under the last week. Well, I'm sorry, on Monday I was a little bit out of it. But we're here today with our co-host Unc.
Bam! I'm in this thing, man. What's up? This is
What's going on?
Hey, listen, man. Listen. You know what you do when you go and take that bag? You ride out, and that's what we did. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You took the hat and rolled out, sent their ass back to San Antonio without hatless, man. So how's it going today?
Everything's going good, man. How about yourself?
Hey, listen, we here. You know, had a little crazy weather out here in Arlington. You know, so the press conference for today's post practice was rescheduled for tomorrow. But I mean, besides that, hey man, it's on and popping. Wow, I'm gonna give a shout out to the STWF podcast crew down in the building. We appreciate you tapping in. Yes, sir. Let's ride. This is the show where we talk everything Arlington Renegades football, man. UFL, it was crazy last week. It's crazy this weekend. So if y'all got the opportunity, y'all definitely come out to this game against the Houston Roughnecks. But y'all can catch it on ESPN. So it's all good. So, man, we're going to get this thing started. So I see you got the hat there. I'm all in your business. So I see you got the hat. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah. This the Battle of I-35 that we have been talking about last week. San Antonio had it for all last year. They beat us twice here at home. They beat us here at home and away. But was a different story on Saturday. We turned around and whooped 33-9. And
like a
they're a little sad, guys. I'm telling you, you should have seen their faces.
Yes. What is it? The Matador when they do the horns and the El Toro and the
And we
did all that shit. So what was the highlight for you, like with this game, man? Definitely because some people, what they don't know is you didn't wait till the end of the game. You know, I mean, we were whipping them since, like you said in the preview of last game, show you was like, hey, we got to punch them in the mouth really hard and just keep our foot on their neck. And that's what we did. So tell us about that. You went back there, you went there and they didn't want to give you the hat, but you demanded the hat. Like, tell us about that experience. How did that feel?
Oh man, you know what? It was funny. It was fun. It was cool. I mean, the trash talking was there. It was just crazy out there, man. Like they were just really quiet. San Antonio was really quiet. I mean, I gave it up to them. I mean, they talked all the way up to the game, but then got quiet. Got really quiet over there in section 46.
Facts. I mean, it was plenty of time we were chanting like, "Hey, you guys!" I mean, it was just so quiet. Rat piss on cotton. But I mean, one of the greatest athletes says the best. You got to play them till you get punched in the mouth. Shout out to Mike Tyson, man. So, and they really got punched in the mouth. If someone catch it, you all can catch the press conference. Coach Wade Phillips, he must got on there. Was like, man, those guys from Arlington. Shout out to Coach Stoops and the team. Like, they were really good. They were improved.
Coach did his homework.
Yes.
He knew where he had to get better at. I mean, when you got 24 guys coming back from last year team, but then you still had over 16 players from your championship team come back. It's the recipe for what he's trying to do this year.
So what do you think? Like, do you think like that is, an indication of them believing in the team, the league, or the coach, or maybe a combination of all three?
I think it's a combination of all three. Because you had some guys that did go up. They did go up to the NFL.
Perez. But we had an lineman who played for the Minnesota Vikings.
And also the one from the Washington offensive lineman that just played with the Washington Commanders.
One
of our tackles. Matter of fact, one of our tackles.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and it's kind of cool like that just to see how, they were able to sustain and keep all these players. So, shout out to the coaching staff because last season, the whole entire league, most of the fan base, they were ready to give up on the team. They were like, the coaches, they all need to be fired. And I mean, I've even seen some posts and some fans talk about, questioning Coach Stoops' tenure with the team. So what do you think about that?
You know what I mean? Everything was still brand new. I mean, you went from the XFL and merging with the USFL. So it's going to change because you can get different players from different conferences. You know what I mean? We lost players that went to the USFL conference. They had players that were at the USFL conference move over to the XFL conference. So I mean. Mm-hmm. He went and did he went and stole some players, you know what I mean? That they knew that they think that they were kind of washed up in the UFL, but hey, these guys came out and played, especially the defense. And like I told you, Chris Odom was a blessing just to fall in our lap.
Yes. You know what I mean? And in addition to Chris Odom, Kalen Ballage was a blessing too, because watch this. Selected by who do you think? The San Antonio Brahmas of the XFL in the 6th round of the 2023 draft. So, just like you mentioned, shout out to Coach Stoops and their staff on, actually, scouting players, recruiting them, and then actually getting them to be signed and to perform at a high level. And that's one of the lot of the fans' questions that's going into week 2. Can the team keep up this high level of football? Because, in week 1, we're breaking records. It's like we're running up the scoreboard. We got swag. Perez is running the damn ball. I mean, we were hitting on all cylinders. So, do you think we can keep that up going into week 2?
Yeah, I mean, if they just keep playing and have the same mindset, they keep having the same mindset. I mean, I'm not gonna throw it out there, but man, it can be nice. It can be nice.
Okay,
I told you they were gonna. One of them was gonna get 2.
You did.
You know what I mean? We almost had 2 backs with 2 touchdowns.
You did. I mean, if you say you shed a load, it was a total of 4 out the backfield. 3 by your guy Devontae, and then 1 by Kalen Ballage. So I mean, in total, it was still 4 touchdowns by the running game. So, man. And those y'all can definitely check out the press conference because you can hear Luis Perez talk about being 2-dimensional. So we seen Luis Perez kind of like be timid and have moments of struggle in week 1, but now I think he's confident in his running game, his running running backs, and his offensive line. So, whoo,
man, that offensive line was nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I'm gonna top my hat off to the defense.
Okay.
Hats off to the defense.
Salute to the defense. Yeah, they really had a good game, and they were able to keep them out the end zone. Like, I mean, that was very impressive because the Brahmas, they're known for having a pretty good defense, but their offense, they struggled, and they made Mound get benched. I ain't much see some on some of these fan pages. Shout out to the San Antonio Brahmas fan page. I seen that they were like looking for a new quarterback down there in San Antonio.
Believe it or not, they did sign one.
Oh,
they did sign one. Don't know his name, but I know they signed one.
Well, we're gonna get that.
They lost Saturday. By Sunday, they signed somebody. They started signing.
That's how the game go, man. Like I was told
to paper.
Yeah, I was told one time, in my working career was that, your job posting your job vacancy will be posted before your obituary. So, hey, man,
you can be replaced as fast as you can.
Facts. Shout out to BS and Beer Media. Yeah, Kalen Ballage was on my fantasy team. Yeah, shout out to you finding that out. I found that out like in one of the shows when we did a running back. And I was like, wait, this is the same guy. So once we did that, I was like,
9 carries, 110 yards with a TD.
Hey, no, you can't. You gotta preface that with the longest run in USFL, UFL, whatever you want to call it, history. 77 yards, man.
77 yards.
That dog boy's a dog, man. So definitely, now we got to fast forward up until week 2. Now, this is a game, a rivalry that I told you I mentioned in the offseason that is one of mine that I think this is my biggest rivalry because when we played them in 2020, I had the bandana, this one on right here, and we lost. So I had to take a picture with these guys with a sign saying that, hey, this is section 140. And, one guy had a big old sign talking about Dallas owes us rent, because at that time.
He was sitting right above us.
Yeah, it was. And you know what's crazy? Because at that time we were called Dallas, and then so you just see the throughout the years the transitions, and now we're the Arlington Renegades. But man, it was some time during that time. And some people, I've been seeing in some chats about the fans, the crowds at these stadiums. And one thing I've seen, we all noticed the crowd difference, but the USFL or the UFL, whatever you want to call it, they've always struggled to get butts in stands. But the XFL, man, in 2020, that thing was jumping. So do you think we'll ever get back to that level? Now that we've gotten, more attention on the league, as far as like with marketing, promotions, they're on, more mainstream stations.
I feel it's still going to take a little bit of time. I mean, right now they're more on TV brand because of the USFL. That's how the USFL was doing it, right? And they were. I mean, they succeeded a little bit over 2 seasons. Then what the XFL did, by using the TV. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we had people in the stands. Maybe they leave that bandit on that helmet. Everybody come back. Everybody come back.
Hey,
because believe it or not, we were only. We put 11,000 people on Sunday inside the stand in that stadium.
Yeah.
In 2020, we were averaging at least anywhere between 15 to 19,000 people. So you maybe lost 5 to 9. Still not bad.
Yeah, I agree. One thing that's one thing I liked about this merger is because the USFL always had a TV presence and the XFL always had, in-stadium presence. So, a fan experience. So I definitely think, with those two coming together and, they're going to figure it out, but there's going to be some growing pains. But right now, I think it's a really good place that we're at because, there's a lot of chatter. Going on about the leagues. We're seeing some really good football. So, like I said, I'm really excited about the level of play and where we're going. But before we get into week 2, just want to ask you this one question. Hold on. So I did see this statement in one of these chats. One guy said that they hope they get rid of the sideline interview. They're saying it's too noisy. What do you think about that? Do you think that should be something that's carried over and continued, or should that be stopped?
It's real. I have no problem with it. I think it's kind of cool when you can hear. That's mainly preferably for the people that are watching on TV. To hear the guy talk, to hear the guy when he scores or they get a sack or any kind of play they do out there that they thought that was pretty. Like say if somebody got mossed out there, they're gonna go and talk to that DB, like, oh man. The DB man, you just got mossed. What do you think about that? Which is kind of cool because then you get the opinion of the players on what they did wrong and what they did wrong or what they did right.
Agreed. I like it, and I think it's a distinction of the XFL. And I think they should keep it because that's their distinction. You don't want to lose your distinction because that's how we know them. So I definitely think that should be, continued. I like it, so, and that's something that the NFL or no other league is doing. And yeah, I like it, me. So shout out to the UFL, y'all definitely keep that up. But now it's on to the Arlington Renegades versus Houston Roughnecks. Need to know before you go. So all of our fans that's coming out to coming out to the game this Sunday, April 6th at 11 a.m. at Choctaw Stadiums. Fans can catch all actions as the Renegades look to secure a key victory in the early 2025 UFL season. With legendary head coach Bob Stoops at the helm, the Renegades are ready to dominate again the field and build momentum. So, if y'all seen last week, we beat like the team that had the best defense last year in the XFL. So, made them look pretty bad. So this Sunday, they're going to continue their salute to the heroes. So it's hats off to hero. This Sunday at the Renegades game, we will honor some very special guests for their incredible service and contributions. Among them is Commander Master Chief Britt Selbinski, a Navy SEAL retired and recipient of the National Medal of Honor. Wow. Also, Command Master Chief Slabinski will be recognized for his extraordinary acts of gallantry during the Battle of Takur Gar in Afghanistan, where he risked his life to save his teammates under intense enemy fire. His heroic actions exemplifies the highest tradition of the U.S. Naval Service, and we are deeply grateful for his sacrifice and leadership. Additionally, we will also recognize Vince Vargas, who is known for his work with his nonprofit organization, TMWR Battalion, and John Wayne Walding, who have made remarkable contributions to his community. Both will be highlighted during the game, with Vince Vargas sharing more about his organization and John Wayne Walding being honored alongside his family. We also are thrilled to welcome the 1st Cavalry Division Band from Fort Cavazos, Texas. All right, shout out to Fort Cavazos, who will be performing during halftime and postgame, adding a special atmosphere of this event. Man, so what do you think about that? Like, you think that is a great thing that they're doing? I think that's a great thing, especially with the museum, the military museum just opening up, right?
What? And that's pretty cool that they do that, because you know what? I'm actually when we do those tailgates out there, I actually got the Warrior Wishes guys that come out, the guys that were wounded in battle, which is kind of cool. They come out to the tailgate they started coming out last year for every home game. They were there on Saturday. They'll be there. They might be there on Sunday, and it's kind of cool because if you go up to them now and ask them questions and ask their story, they're gonna give you their story, and which is it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? They went and gave their life up for their country. You know what I mean? Some of us won't do it. I know I won't do it.
I was reading that. I was like, listen, I am not about this even. I'm not even looking back, man. I am.
I'm gonna be like what Forrest Gump's mama said, run. I'm just gonna run.
Fact. Shout out to my big cousin. When we were young, it was like, listen, we'll go somewhere. We'll know, like, hey, if something happens, we get separated, we're gonna meet here. You know what I'm saying? So listen, we already had that established. Look, I'm gone. But shout out to those people that have that servant's heart, because if without them, we'll be stagnant in this world of life. So definitely need that appreciation and love towards people and mankind. So definitely, if you all are a fan of, servants, once again, come out there. It's a great opportunity. So now we're on to the Full Throttle Tailgate, which is different from the tailgate that the Banditos do every game in Lot E. So Full Throttle Tailgate, the Renegades Full Throttle Tailgate will take over the Centerfield Plaza again prior to kickoff. This time, it's starting at 9:30 a.m. So if you like me, I didn't just got my first cup of coffee. So at 9:30, so y'all have to get up pretty early to come out there.
You better get up early and start that pot.
Yeah, for real, like shoot. But at 9:30, so come out and enjoy face painting, glitter tattoos, balloon artists, a photo booth, sponsor activities, and more. It's the ultimate pregame celebration that you don't want to miss. And in addition to the tailgate, there's giveaways. So who doesn't like giveaways? We like giveaways. Unc had the thing. If it's free, it's for me. So they're giving out giveaways. Y'all make sure y'all pull up. So it's saying the first 1,500 fans through the gates will receive a free blue bandana to show support for our new Bandanas Up rally cry. All right, sounds pretty cool. Plus, the first 2,000 fans will enter for a chance to win a free Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich courtesy of Chick-fil-A North Collins Street. Okay, all right. I can dig it. You know, getting in on some of that.
Just can't go on Sunday. They close.
Facts. You're a little crazy as hell talking about. Look, I'm gonna cash in my gift card. Oh, okay. Please. So shout out to the Community Game Day partner. The Arlington Renegades are proud to announce the National Medal of Honor Museum as the official Community Game Day partner for the Game 2 against Houston. Man, that's pretty cool. The partnership reflects the Renegades' commitment to supporting local organizations that make meaningful impacts, and it's the perfect way to kick off the season with a sense of pride and gratitude for those who serve. Once again, man, shout out to those guys who serve, and it's a lot of good things going on, and y'all being honored at these games. Next, we got up is the Win Family 4-pack. So if you're out there, want your family come out there, because I know I be having my family out there. They want to eat. So 4 tickets to the game, 4 hot dogs, 4 drinks, 4 bags of chips for $100. So you all can definitely check our page, and you can see the link for that. But definitely that's a really great deal, because the tickets themselves is more than $25. So if you can get all of that for just $25 a piece, man, definitely y'all rally up and go out there and get that. So last up is the game timing. So center field gates will open 90 minutes prior to the game time at 9:30 for access to the full throttle tailgate, and all gates will open 60 minutes prior to kickoff. So, man, y'all definitely, if y'all have any questions, y'all about what y'all need to know about before you go to the game, you all can check our page on STWF TV on Facebook, and you can check it out there. So, I want to see y'all there, man, because it should be a pretty good showing for us, because, the Roughnecks, they should. They're the whipping stick of the league. So what do you think about this? What do you think about this game?
What do I think about this game? Oh, man, you know what I mean? I think last game our receivers had last game the running backs had the game, right? Now we got the history.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now that started in 2020. That started in 2020 when you had to hold that sign up. March 2nd, we lost to them 27-20.
Very embarrassing.
Mm-hmm. And then there was supposed to be a second game, which that was week 5, April 2nd, 2020 at TDECU in Houston at 7:00 to be played at. But due to COVID-19, the league has shut everything down.
And that was a really hurt to me. Like, that was a really tough blow to me at that time, because I think that was the reload of the XFL, and it had really good motion, and I spent all my money on season tickets. Shout out to the Renegades, because that's how y'all really found, because I'm like, hey, I need my money back. I'm sitting there, I need my money back.
And we were 2-3. We were 2-3 that year. We weren't that bad of a team. I mean, because Houston had some superstars.
Yes,
on that XFL team. Yes, you know what I mean? What you had, and they had a couple of guys that season come out to the NFL. They had a bunch of guys go out. I mean, the quarterback Walker, he played a couple of years back, doing some good backup for good guys back in the NFL.
Had some really good games back then. Yes, they did.
Yeah. And then we come back to 2023, where we went 4-6, won the championship, but in those games against Houston, we April the 23rd, 2023, in Houston at TDECU, we lost 25-9.
Oh,
yes. So then we split, and then a couple days later, April 29th, 2023. We beat them 26-10 to 10.
There we go.
26 to 11. And yeah, well, you know what? I have them mixed up. We beat them, and they beat us at home, and then we went up to TDECU and beat them 26 to 11.
That's what I'm talking about. We definitely needed to get that shake back game. We need to get our lick back because yeah, I didn't like that.
And then now when they became in 2024 when they moved over to the USFL conference, because they I think this one really didn't count to me, because that was the Houston Gamblers in 2024. Well, 2023, no, 2024 is when they became the Gamblers. Oh, there you are. Yeah, we were sitting right underneath him. But yeah, I mean, they beat us here at home 17 to 9. Well, no, I'm sorry, they beat us at Rice 17 to 9. Oh yeah, I know. That's Big Dog right there. I know who that is.
Yeah, that's what they had. Yeah, they whipped up on us so bad they made me hold that. They made that sign outside. That was their section they were in, and they made me hold that.
Just take off the Knicks, and that was rough.
For real. But yeah, I mean, and that's one thing that makes this league really pretty cool. The fans interactions, and just stuff like that, man. Like, this is pretty cool. Do you think we'll ever get back? Look at this crowd,
man. You know what I mean? That's when and it's crazy. They need to market it in the Dallas area, because believe it or not, a lot of people came from Dallas.
For real?
Yeah, that's when man, come on now. How do you think I came out? It was called the Dallas Renegades. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I came from the 214. Now, I still rep the 817, but hey, it was 214 all day.
It's true, as y'all can see right there on the sign, it reads Dallas. So, man, okay, that makes sense. That really does make sense. So, talking about making sense, man, it's that time, got to pay some bills. So y'all sit back, and we're going to be back with more of the Let's Ride podcast.
Little J's Donuts and more. Located in Harahan at 1301 Hickory Avenue. Come in for donuts, savory breakfast, king cakes, and more. Check us out on Facebook at Little J's Donuts, or on our website, littlejaysdonuts.org.
Hey, we are back with more Let's Ride podcast. This is the only podcast where it's all Renegades all day, and it's up. What you do, Unc? It's my dude, Bandito. We back, man. So, this that segment right here. Who's going to wear the hat? It might not be that hat, because that hat is staying right next to your bed. But
oh yeah, this one ain't moving. But that one right there, and that's funny, because you know what, believe it or not, that was my personal black hat that I gave to Mr. Vaughn there. You know what I mean? As every time they scored a touchdown, that was their touchdown celebration. You know what I mean? So now
I've seen it.
Yeah, his tradition now is whoever scores, or whatever offensive player scores, or it has to be big. That was big. That was 77 yards big.
Facts. Yeah, for those that don't know, that's Kalen Balaj right there. So he wore the hat because he was a player of the game. So I didn't even know all of that history on, the hat. So that's really good information that, you told us about that. And for those that, missed the post-game show, I had mentioned on how, this rivalry started from the fans. So now it's just to hear more involvement of you all, the super fans with the E-Muster celebration. That's pretty cool.
Well, I got something for you too. Joe Powell on the defense has one of my personal chains for the turnover chain. So when they get that interception, when you're cool with them guys, when you're cool with those guys right there, hey, they'll do anything for the fans. You know what I mean? And I'm glad. They know I rep them, and they're repping the group that I started.
Facts.
with my big homie Val. You know what I mean?
I took pictures of that y'all my first that game. I was like, man, wait. I think I ran to y'all like, hey man, let me take pictures of y'all, so y'all can definitely go back and see those pictures on our, on our channel, on our page. But yeah, you all were dressed like I was like that was pretty cool. Like y'all were really dressed in character, and I just seen it go up from there. So shout out to you and the big bro Val on just laying the foundation, supporting it, and watching it grow, bro. Like that was pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
It's growing, and it's kind of cool because a lot of the fans, we like to interact with the kids and the parents. It's cool, you know what I mean? And it's about the kids. Walking around dressing up, you know what I mean? Walking around and just, you know what I mean? A lot of the kids want to take pictures. I didn't do a lot of walking around this game because I had some people next to me talking all sorts of mess. So I stayed in my section all game, you know what I mean? But I'll be doing my rounds this week, meet the kids. Meeting the kids and meeting the parents, and you guys see me out there, you know what I mean? Don't hesitate to come up and get a picture. You know what I mean? I know some people get afraid because they think we charge for pictures. Nah, we don't charge nobody for pictures. You all just come up. You know what I mean? If you want to take a picture, hey, I'll stop for the kids. Now, if you're an adult, you better have your camera ready because I'm walking.
or a beer to keep your attention. You got to get your stop. So listen, if you're over 20, age of 21, if you don't got no beer, it's like, hey, don't stop. You're gonna keep walking. Just have your camera ready.
Yep, have your camera ready.
Shout out to Bobby, man. Appreciate you tapping in.
What's on, Bobby?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, all right, that goes to still. Who do you think is going to win? Who's going to wear the hat this week? Who's going to be player of the game?
I'm going to go with my boy that I gave it to. I'm going to go with Vaughn. I think Vaughn's going to have Vaughn is going to have a breakout. You know what I mean? I think he'll go for 2. He'll go for a little bit over $150 with 2 touchdowns.
All right, dog. I could dig that. So I'm gonna go on the same side of the ball. I'm gonna go with the the receivers, but I'm gonna go with the tight end. So I'm going to go with Sal Cannella because last game he had the most receptions at 5. He only had 45 yards, but he had the longest catch that went for 25 yards. And we know that he's one of the first looks for Perez when they're in the red zone. So I think that, there's definitely going to be some big plays. So I think Tyler Vaughn will get his, he will get his share because he's also a really good receiver, but they're using him in gadget plays, so he's going to get the ball a whole lot more, and he has the ability to break these plays just like Caleb Balaj did. So, I like that. So,
don't be surprised if he throws for 1.
Right? Yeah, I'm about to tell you, yes, because I definitely it was against them. I went to this practice, we had a joint practice, getting ready for this scrimmage against the Roughnecks, and they gave him the ball out the backfield, and he had the option to throw. So, it was an end around out the backfield, and he had the option to throw the ball. So he didn't complete the pass, but it's there. So we also, I was able to see that they're increasing his usage on that. So all right, I like that. All right. So for our fans, we want to know who y'all think is going to wear the hat. Who's going to wear the Bandito hat this week? So the Bandito hat can only be worn by the offensive player that makes a big play. Like y'all see Caleb Balaj right there. He had a 77-yard TD run, the longest in UFL history. So we want to know in the chats who y'all think is going to wear the Bandito hat this week. So, all right. So I got Sal Cannella, the tight end, and you got your guy TV. That's a good one. All right, so now we got some offensive notes right now. So this is the segment where we just talk about, some of the offensive notes that we got for the upcoming game. So this week, of course, they're gearing up for the Houston Roughnecks. Last week they had a big focus on run. So through off season and practice, I was seeing Perez just throwing down their back, and running up the ball, running up the field. So I definitely look forward to see what are some of the offensive notes that we got from this week.
Luis Perez, who led the UFL last season in every major passing category, has been standing out to the Renegades this season. In total yards, he's 164 total yards, 3rd right now. His completion rating is 20. With being 1st, Completion percentage is 80%, which is second in the league. Attempts is 25 attempts, which is first in the league. And total offense is 182, being at ranked third. So, I mean, we're in the top 5. I mean, he's in the top 5.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah,
So,
man. And then,
so you think that's prime for him to have? So what do you think that confidence, that builds his confidence coming into this game?
oh yeah. I mean, if you really look at it like we were talking earlier when he threw that interception, you know what I mean? He still had time, but he's still getting used to his guys in the front. So he kind of let his eyes off and then decided to throw it, and it was already too late because that guy was just sitting back there waiting to get it. You know what I mean? Which after that, once he got that first mistake, then he corrected himself like they said in the press conference. You know what I mean? They're holding themselves accountable for every mistake they do. And he went in after that interception. He went in there and fixed it.
Facts. All right, cool. Any more notes they got?
We're actually first downs. We're second behind St. Louis with 22. St. Louis has 24. Then you got DC.
Let's put a quick pin on that because the Battlehawks, they played the Roughnecks their first game. Mm-hmm. And we know the Roughnecks don't have one of the better teams in our conference. So if we were able to keep up with them after playing, the far as with the first downs, and they played the worst team, and oh man, we gonna Cadillac this week. Yeah, okay.
Third down conversions. You know what I mean? That was a good one too. You know what I mean? We're first, and we're first with 12 attempts. Converted 8 times, which puts us at 66.7% on our third downs.
Oh wow. That's a good sign, because that stat right there tells a lot about your team, because if you can convert on third down, then that means you're moving the ball. You're moving the ball. You're confident in your guys that they're going to be able to make plays. So yeah, that's a really good stat. To say that we've just went up against one of the best or the best, especially in the XFL conference defense. So
now, my thing was the red zone. You know what I mean? The red zone. We had our friend Devon Smith with three touchdowns, which he only had 3 carries and 3 yards.
Yeah.
Which that just shows you that the big guys up front are doing what they got to do.
Yeah, in the trenches.
In previous years, we weren't that good in that red zone area. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think now with the new additions of the line we have, because if you look at it, I believe we only have 2 starters on that offensive line from last year. So you're looking at 3 starters. You got 3 different starters on that offensive line.
Oh wow! Right? Yeah. And that was a big emphasis of this season. Recruitment. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That was a big focus, and just to see that they were able to go focus on that area and it's paying dividends to the team. And so I definitely think that's building the confidence of not only Luis Perez but those running backs too. Yeah.
Well, if you look at it, the rushing. We had 31 attempts. with 183 yards. We were averaging 5.9 yards on
a rush.
An average rush was 5.9 yards.
And then we were just pinning them back, and I could have got out there and ran the ball if they were making big holes like that, like 5.9 yards per carry. That's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably explains why, if y'all definitely go check out the press conference. Caleb Balaj, he had his drip on, he had his chains on. Luis Perez, he was all dazzled up. So
he was all smooth, wasn't he?
Yeah, you see that?
That little suit.
Yeah. So it's just from everyone. It's just this whole culture has changed. It's like it's a winning mentality. These guys look the part, they're playing the part, and I'm just excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for the season, for the last game, this game. Man, yeah, like, whew. I've been a fan of it.
And I think, I mean, when it's crazy because besides, I mean, in our division, and when you're looking at that, you with St. Louis, you got St. Louis, you got the Brahmas, you got
Roughnecks and us.
the Roughnecks are on the other one, but you got
Roughnecks not UFL?
No, I think it's Memphis is in our conference. But I mean, if you're looking at it, oh no, I'm sorry, DC. I mean, look at you got St. Louis and DC and us, and I think it's Memphis. I think Memphis is.
Well, no, so it's right here. XFL Conference, Arlington Renegades, DC Defenders. You was correct. San Antonio Brahmas, St. Louis Battlehawks. Now the USFL Conference is the Birmingham Stallions, Houston Roughnecks, Memphis Showboats, and the Michigan Panthers.
So that's what I'm saying. With St. Louis and DC, those are going to be some dog fights. I'm telling you right now, because I mean, if you look at, I mean, St. Louis is right now on their team rushings, they've rushed the ball against the Roughnecks. They went 41 attempts for 273 yards with a 6.7 average yards per carry.
They couldn't tackle a win. So I might have to make that. We might have to change that up. and say that we might have another heavy running back game. But man, you know, that just lets us know that we're going to be able to run up and down the field on these guys, and it might be undefeated. Like might be a goose egg on their end because. Yeah, I don't see them driving the ball on us. I don't see them stopping it. So,
hey, you know what? If that defensive line or I mean, if they play all around like they did Saturday, there shouldn't be no reason why we don't blow these guys out either. But you know what I mean? You don't want but you know what? I don't want to say, oh, we're gonna sit here and beat the dog piss out of them, because at the end of the day, it's any given Saturday, any given Sunday.
Yeah, that's true. That's
what around and be like, you can come on and be like, oh, we're gonna wall these guys, boom, and they turn around and wall you.
Facts.
You never know. You know what I mean?
Facts. And that's one thing with this league. It's unlike the the NFL, where it's like you got the top dog, the top tier team that like the KC Chiefs. You expect them to beat up on everyone. It's like, but here it's the competition level is not that far off, so it makes it a really exciting game. Yep. So, yeah, man, I think we are, because I mean, you just said how we're going to be able to, push the ball up and down the field. We've, showed the stats. We've compared them to the team, the St. Louis Battlehawks, the same team that blew out the Roughnecks last week. So, I mean, if you're the donkey over there, I mean, you're going to be a donkey over here, and just, and we going to mount up and ride out. So, on the other side of the ball, the offensive, the defense is going to be defensive. So, I definitely is ready for this. And I think, once again, this is going to be led by, one of the top dogs, of course, your guy, Powell.
DP. DP.
Facts. So we're just gonna go through some quick Donald Payne. Yes, sir, Donald Payne. So just some quick wrap-up stacks. The Renegades linebacker Donald Payne established himself as the league leader in total tackles last season. Payne finished 6th overall in the UFL. So he had 63 tackles, 30 solo tackles, and 33 assists. So, he's established himself as a guy that's going to make the tackle. He's not scared to wrap up. So he's going to definitely push the line, push the ball, make the quarterback uncomfortable back there, because I don't think that, they have a pretty good quarterback. I've seen him in practice. So, he looked a little bit jumpy. So definitely look for Donald Payne to be making some big plays from the linebacker position. Now, let's take it further back, to the next phase. I'll take that. So Arlington was the leader of the pack when it came to winning the turnover battle in 2024. Overall, the Arlington Renegades was a +7 in turnover differential, which topped the league last season. So we had 16 takeaways, 9 giveaways with a +7 differential. So, you ain't throwing on us. If you're throwing on us, you better not throw too crazily, because we are establishing the no-fly zone, baby. So the no-fly zone, the Arlington backfield.
Go ahead and throw it. We want to see that turnover chain. You know what I mean?
Just talked about it. Yes, sir. So the Arlington Renegades backfield excelled in pass breakups, headlined by an all UFL team corner, Eugene Harris. The Renegades had 2 corners that topped the league leaders in pass breakups in 2024. They did that with a total of 9 tackles. Harris had 8 breakups, 1 interception. Stephen Jones Jr. had 7 breakups with 2 interceptions. So when they do it, they do it. So they're sitting in a no-fly zone. They're doing takeaways in bunches. Last season in 2024, Arlington was second to Birmingham Stallions, far as with the total takeaways. They had 16 total takeaways, while Birmingham had 17. But the Renegades had 10, the most interceptions in the entire league. So, you come playing in this house, it's going to get taken to the house. The Arlington Renegade defensive back, Joe Power, earned his place as the league leader on board with 2 interceptions, including 1 at a return for a touchdown in 2024. So, like I say, the front line going to be putting pressure on the quarterback and the running back, because last season the Arlington Renegades had 50 breakups. So definitely that gives an opportunity for this defense to show up on Sunday. So what do you think about that, man? What do you think about our defensive chance to come up this week?
Oh man, I mean, the way I see it, I mean, their punter's leg's gonna be swollen by the end of the night.
Funny, because you talk about the punter, and I was thinking about y'all got to check out the San Antonio Brahmas. They did it to they did a clip to where destroying, missed the field goal, and our DJ was just trolling him the entire day. So it was pretty cool. Just talking about the Houston Roughnecks. Shout out to Rig Rockers, man.
What's up, Rig? What's up, Rig?
All right, what do you say? So we have Brown starting again. So y'all are good.
And it's not Brown's problem, man. It's Mr. CJ, man.
Oh,
It's the coach. It's time for him to go.
Break about. So the next we got special teams. So, needless to say, we got one of the best guys in the league, Marquise King, definitely a GOAT at that position. And
what, talk about special teams. This one's gonna be a good one, because you got 2 brothers that are long snappers that have played on the opposite team. You got Antonio Ortiz for the Renegades, and you got Marcos Ortiz on the Houston Roughnecks. They're 2 brothers. This is the first time ever that they're gonna play against each other. So that's gonna be kind of pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool tidbit. Like, I didn't even know. That's a fun fact right there. That's pretty cool. And so to that fact, we got of course, Marquise King is one of the GOATs. He got a big boot. Arlington punter who's tallied 2 punts for 103 yards. He averages 51.5 yards per punt. So this definitely lets you know that he can, get the ball, put it in certain positions of the field to make sure that it's a little bit difficult for the opposing team to get a score. So and these kickoff rules, these punt rules is very instrumental in this unique league. So
you hear what Rick Rocker says? He says, yeah, but throwing for 20 yards and 2 picks isn't exactly a starter number. Hey, Rock, you know what? Hey, Rick Rock. Hey, man, you're a fan, brother. Because you know what? You tell how it is. You mean you're not sugarcoating about your team. And you know what? And being a fan of football, I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be. You gotta tell how it is.
You didn't let excluding Dallas Cowboy fans, because it doesn't matter. You can find an infant that can't even talk to the oldest person that's a mute now. They're gonna still say that they're gonna win the Super Bowl. So, yes, you shout out to those people that's a true fan and understand, like, okay, hey, you know what? It is what it is. Let me be a fan and support the team while the team figures it out. But yeah, got to be real with it. So what you say, Rick? He said, I don't understand why King isn't back in the NFL. I'm gonna say the same reason why Destroying isn't. So they get that social media endorsements, and I think they got a lot of stuff going on. I know Marquette King, he raps or sing. He has a whole lot of stuff going on. So I don't see why, as far as like talent wise, because of course he's one of the GOATs at that position. I would expect him to at least have an opportunity again to go out there and flourish. But I'm pretty sure it's probably a choice move.
Yep.
So what do you think about that? Do you think he should he should make it like a maybe King should try and go back to the to the league this upcoming season? You think he should leave the the UFL?
Man, I don't know, man. I mean, he's been trying for a long time, man. I guess, but I guess what it is with some of these teams, man, they don't like his personality. That's just him. It's just him. He's just having fun. He loves the game. He loves what he does. You know what I mean? He's not out there causing no trouble. You know what I mean? You don't hear him getting in any trouble. You know what I mean? Does he have a big mouth? Oh yeah, he got a big mouth. You know what I mean? I love my kicker, bro, King. You know what I mean? He played with the Raiders, he played with the Broncos. You know what I mean? Before I even met him, I thought he was arrogant. You know what I mean? I thought he was arrogant with a big head. But you know what? When I met him and got to talk to him and going, man, that's one of the coolest dudes ever, man. Like he is literally a cool dude. He just likes to have fun. That's all he likes to do. He likes to have fun. And you know what? And he's confident. He's confident of what he does.
Right. And he has, he has a following. He has a brand, so, and when you have a brand like that, you got to make sure you uphold it. You're going to have confidence. It's a lot of stuff that you're going to have that can be misinterpreted, but, it's up on the fans like us, the true fans, to make sure that, like you just did, this type of stuff gets out. Because I was at a practice and I thought this was pretty cool. Like you said, you think he's arrogant. And if you look in the picture very closely right there, that's King. The lady and the son, when the lady dropped that shirt down, the jersey down for him to give from the sign, from the giving the autograph, and he did it. So definitely.
I'll give you another one from that. I'll give you another one from that practice. There was another gentleman. He actually had a photo of him when he was kicking for the Raiders. You know what I mean? This guy didn't. It was open to the public. But you had a special wristband to go down to the field to meet players and everything. This guy didn't have a wristband or nothing. You know what I mean? I saw Marquise walk. I saw him walking. I said, "Hey man, do me a favor. There's a guy." Me and Tim were like, "Hey, there's a guy over there that wants your autograph, man, but he can't come down here. You don't mind going over there?" Man, he went over there. And signed it. You know what I mean? He went over there and signed the picture for that man.
Wow. Like I say, that's what I like about these guys, man. They're very, that's remarkable. That's like, I ain't used to that because NFL, them players might spit on you, it's like all type of stuff that they do. They really
I've met a couple. You know, I got to meet I've been here in Dallas for a while. I moved furniture for Freed's Furniture. I got to deliver to Emmitt Smith. Man, that's talking about arrogance. That's arrogance. This guy he wanted to get paid for his autographs, and he wanted to get paid, and he was just like, really nasty, man.
And he was just a person of a good situation because, to me, if you ask me for talent-wise, Barry Sanders was better than him. He just had a better line. So come on, man, get off the gas. But shout out to Rick. Rick, he says, Marco, I have a little surprise I'll be bringing with me to the game.
Hey, well, I guess we'll be waiting, bro.
Fact. But y'all ain't going. I got something.
But about Rick, real quick, man. I mean, hey, he loves his team. You know what I mean? If he has any chance to jump in that pickup and go see where his team's at, Hey, he'll go, man, and I give it to him, man. I give him a lot of respect. A lot of people don't do that. You know what I mean? Also, look at the horns, the traveling Brahmas, whatever they call them. I mean, they're 50 plus people that travel to games. You know what I mean? You got Rig and other people traveling to games. That was just a practice. He was the only guy, the only Houston Roughneck in Arlington the day of the joint practice.
Right. So shout out to once again, that's just indicative of the people that supports this league. And I think I seen he had posted that he has a helmet. He got a helmet made that he's trying to get some of the players to sign. So it's like the team love that these fans and the team has towards the fans. Like, that's some of the things that lets me know that's unmatched. And to me, that's a good indication that this league is going to last. Yep. Besides all the crazy stuff, this is going to last because, hey, you know what? They do it for the love and the stuff, and I'm a big proponent of, if you do it for love, it's going to last. So, talking about doing it for love, he said he made it himself. All right. Nice. Don't start no stuff or beat no stuff. You'll be making renegades.
Rig, if I was you, you're sitting on that side, man. Tell one of the equipment managers, drop that sucker down there and tell the equipment manager to go with a marker, bro.
For real. You better get it, man. Like, because we just talk, I don't know if you was here, but look, we're trying to get back to these days, man. Like, where y'all were trolling us. Like, I'm telling you, like, y'all were my biggest rival. If you catch one of our earlier shows, I said, well, Marco said, of course, the Brahmas. I was like, these guys. So definitely, man, we appreciate that you the way you support.
Believe it or not, I wish they were still in our conference, man. I really do.
Fact. It's a lot of teams I miss. Just like I seen at the tailgate, the the Seattle Sea Dragons. Like, man, like that was a really great fan base, and it was backed by Ben DiNucci. And if y'all check our channel out, I got an interview with Ben DiNucci. He talks about his when he was there, he was a quarterback. He also talks about his Dallas brand, his clothing brand with Dak Prescott. But man, like I say, that was a really class act. For as like I really enjoyed those fans of the Seattle Sea Dragons. But hold on. What he says, hey, I'll give y'all crap, but it's nothing but love for y'all.
Oh, that's all right, man. You're going to take a nice little long drive back to Houston, man. You're going to be looking but now you can't be looking like the San Antonio Brahmas, man. Jay and all them, BD.
Guys, you name dropping.
Man, I'm not going to lie, man. Them guys look sad, bro. Like sad. I felt bad. Like game day.
That's what happened.
Game day.
We pulled them up like this and finish.
Game day, we warriors. You know what I mean? After the game, hey, we all family. You know what I mean?
Facts. Oh, he say, yes.
Oklahoma, man. You need to stop that crap, man.
Oh man. All right, so good that you tapped in with us, Rig. So we want to know the score prediction. What do y'all think this score would be this Sunday against the Arlington Renegades and the Houston Roughnecks? So if you all get close, drop it in the chat, and we always go back and review our chat. So those that get it close or get it correct, we're going to get you a free ticket to the next upcoming game. If it's, of course, we want you to come to an Arlington Renegades game. But if it's someone that gets this correct and you're a team of another, a fan of another team, hey, we'll go ahead and buy that ticket for that because we want you all to come out. We definitely want you all to have this experience, and hey, we appreciate everyone that watches our show and participates.
Hey, you might get lucky and sit right where we're at. You never know.
Facts, you know what I'm saying? And be on the jumbotron. So, what do you think this game? What do you think this score was? Man. What is your prediction?
I'm going again. I'm going like I've told you. We're going for 40 pieces this year. I'm going for 40 pieces.
You going to 4 for 4? What was that? Like? Was a 4 for 4? Was that a Subway thing or something?
Yeah, hey, we can call it. You know what I mean? But hey. I just got the confidence in that defense, the defense and our offense, man. I mean, these guys are clicking. These guys are, I mean, right out the muscle, they're clicking.
That's a good, I like that. So Rick says,
you see 40 piece. He called it 40 piece.
Right.
41-6.
Yeah, he says Renegades 41-6, but yeah, I'm gonna say 41-0.
To 0.
Yeah. I don't see how y'all gonna how y'all gonna score. I don't see how y'all gonna drive the ball, yeah. So what do you think? So I'm gonna get it here. So I got 40-0 Renegades. And what do you got?
You know what?
Predict the score.
I'm gonna give them. Dang. I'm gonna give them. You know what? I'm gonna give them the 2. I'm gonna go with Rig. I'm gonna give them their little 2 field goals.
All right. So you give them the 2 field goals, so that's 6.
Yeah,
well, how about they go for but one thing is like that's what's different for because they might not go for the field goal. They might go for the 4th down and the 2-point conversion. So, and like NFL, these extra points and these field goals, I mean, I don't know, but just trying to make sure that people understand, some of the league rules. But I like the field goal. They should be all right with that. I don't see them getting it. I want us to block a field goal. I don't want them to get nothing. Because
I want a kick return. That's what I want.
Nice.
I want a kickoff return.
All right. So what do you think the score gonna be? Let's book. What do we got?
I'll give it 40-6.
Okay.
I'll go with my 40 piece.
46 Renegades Bandito. All right, now so we got it. We got it down here. All right, so definitely, for those that catch the replay, those that's here with the live, we want to know what are your score predictions and drop it in the chat. And the closest person to whatever the game score will be, we're going to reach out to you and get you some tickets to either a Renegades game if you're a Renegades fan or to whatever your local team is. So definitely, y'all let us know what y'all think is going to be. Oh, well, shoot, definitely. We could definitely make, I forget, yeah, we like, I'll be here.
You just tell us.
Right.
You just let us know.
We'll make it happen. So, yeah, all right, that's a good score. So I think we could definitely make that 40 piece. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that 40-piece chicken nugget. You know what?
Facts. So last year, a lot of the fans and a lot of the critics were calling for the staff to get fired and saying how horrible the team was, and so the staff was was under a lot of scrutiny last year. So hence we're breaking out a new segment is to meet the coach, meet the staff. So, we want you all to know these people that then put together this team that y'all can't stop. So, this week, we're going to go with Rick Mueller. So once I find, it's crazy because, and this is good for me too, that they said he's out because just like, working from home, you really don't see what these people look like until, unless they have a picture of them or anything. So I was on the field and I didn't even know Rick was talking to me. And I was like, wait, this guy looks really, really familiar because, those that know me know that I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. So, and he just looked like he had that look. So when I got some notes, I was like, oh my gosh, that's Rick Mueller, the guy from the Saints. So definitely want to give you some quick information on Mr. Rick. So, all right, let me see.
Oh, was he with that 2000? Was he with that 2000 Super Bowl run with y'all?
Hey, the Bounty Gate.
No, hey, that's the coaches over there in DC though.
Nice. So Rick Mueller, he's the general manager. He's Renegades' 3rd year. Rick Mueller is entering his 3rd season with the Arlington. Rick Mueller is entering his third season with Arlington, second as the Renegades general manager, an executive with more than 20 years of experience in professional football. Mueller joined the XFL after serving as executive director for personnel at Coastal Carolina from 2018 to 2020. A period that he saw the program transition from the FCS to the FBS level. Mueller has held player personnel leaderships roles in the NFL with the Philadelphia Eagles as director of player personnel from 2012 to 2016. And with the New Orleans Saints, baby, as vice president of player personnel from 2000 to 2008. He also spent time in the United Football League as vice president and general manager from 2009 to 2011. Growing up in Spokane, Mueller was influenced by his older brother, Randy, fostering a deep passion for football. Both brothers have had parallel careers, with Randy also working in football operations, including a stint with the Seattle franchise. So really good guy, man. Just like, one thing, just like the players, these coaches, a lot of the staff, they're approachable. So if you see him, holler at him, and they'll pretty much speak back. Really good dynamic there. So what do you think about Rick?
Oh, I mean, he's done a good job for the last 2 years. You know what I mean, you're sitting here picking these guys that you got to pick out. You know what I mean? Him and Stoops together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They got to know what they're doing.
That part. And it's evident with, the product that we're seeing on the field, because, they had issues last year, but they were able to lick their wounds and right the ship. And now we're seeing what this championship level was that we talked about, in his offseason. So, I'm excited to see this, what this season holds up. So next coach, of course, we got Coach Stoops, the world-known Boomer Sooner. Definitely a great guy, and had the opportunity to interview him, talk with him, seeing, interacting with these guys during the championship banquet out here at Texas Live. So, man, so much respect for this guy, so much respect for what he does, how he became here. And this is it. So what happens, this segment is just, we want the fans, we want to know what y'all want to ask Coach Stoops. So we have the opportunity to be in on a lot of these press conferences, and due to the bad inclement weather that was here in the Arlington area, they moved the press conference until tomorrow. So any questions that y'all might want to have for Coach Stoops or Luis Perez, y'all drop them in the chat, and we'll make sure that we ask them. Of course, if it's a good question, if it's a decent question, we'll ask them, and then we'll definitely, give you all a shout out if they answer. So,
not like Crazy Tim wanting to know his favorite beaver nugget.
Right. I was like, what the hell? I was like, there's only one flavor of beaver nugget. You were like, no, there's more. I was like, what? What kind of taste buds you have? But yeah, definitely ask us some questions. Don't ask no beaver nuts, because we'll be talking about you. But what do you say? It's a good question right here.
Hey, you know what, Rick? Hey, I'm gonna make sure my boy asked that one real quick.
Thanks, right? We got to figure out a way to pretty that up to where they won't block us. But yeah, we're gonna figure out a way to ask that. And, definitely follow the page. And once we get that clip, we're gonna tag you in it, and we're gonna let them know that our fans are asking these questions, because one thing about our brand, we are powered by the fans. This league that's why we love this league, because it loves the fans, and our brand is about the fans. So definitely drop y'all questions, and we're going to ask them. So that was a pretty good one. Now, I think he's going to laugh at that one. Man, so, that's it now. Appreciate, any shout out to the last thing.
You know what? I mean, since I couldn't do it on, since I fell asleep, was it Tuesday or Monday?
Yeah, like you just fell asleep. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Hey,
I was sleeping beauty.
Hey, voice was hurting, body was hurting, but it was all worth it. Hey, but you know what? I want to give a special shout out to Tim Tim and Rico, man, for the crawfish, for doing that big old crawfish that we had. Also, Mood 2, Daniel, some Mood 2, you know what I mean, for cooking everything, man. You know what I mean? And then also, I just appreciate the team that I have, man. You know what I mean? Everybody played their part. Everybody did their part. And, we had an amazing tailgate. And I give it to them, man. I give it to everybody. You know what I mean? I tell them all the time, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for the team that we got, it wouldn't be me and Big Homie starting getting this together. You know what I mean?
Facts. You know, and I gave him a shout out too. Y'all can check that last episode and see them.
Oh, I want to give especially to my co-host Unc over here. You know what I mean? Got the DJ out there for us. You know what I mean? Carve. Now, if you guys want to see the carved watermelon, go to the page.
You know, definitely we put on for our team, you know, and we're just trying to set the tone for, you know, other fan bases to, you know, not compete, but to collaborate. You know,
you see what Rick just put?
Yeah, I was trying to hold a straight face on that. I was trying to hold a straight face, man. I was like, oh shit. All right, what do you say? He said, can't wait to tailgate with y'all on Sunday. I'll be in town.
We'll see you out there on Sunday, Rick.
Facts.
But hey, you be careful on your drive up here, man. Whoever's coming down I-45, man. You guys be careful on the way up. If you guys gonna come up for the game, man, you guys be careful. You guys don't need to rush. You know what I mean? If you need to leave a little bit early to get here on time, hey, leave a little bit early. Don't rush down here, guys. We'll see you guys on Sunday.
Yes. And quick reminder. You know, I think I seen on Rig about, you know, so what's for the fans with the Banditos?
Okay, well, the Banditos tailgate we're gonna do, since it's gonna be an 11 o'clock game. We should be there setting up about 7 o'clock. I mean, you guys are more than welcome to come hang out. And you know what I mean? We're going to be out there. We're going to start the grills out. We're going to have Big Val's going to do breakfast tacos, as well as fajita and chicken fajita tacos. And then we'll have Daniel. We'll have Mutu on the grill doing breakfast sandwiches. We're gonna have breakfast sandwiches, sausage, egg and cheese, bacon, egg and cheese. He's bringing out some kind of bacon salami, tasting bacon. I mean, and then also I think he might have said he's bringing biscuit and gravy. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? Come with
I'll be falling asleep in the parking lot. That's a good.
And then I got one, and then you know what I mean? If you guys like mimosas, there's gonna be mimosas out there early in the morning.
And a big call out, and you all can find all of this in Lot E. And for
Lot E, yes, in Lot E. And what about visitors? And if you're at visitors, I'll let you know the closest parking to us to get to us will be Lot D, because all you gotta do is cross through Lot L to get to E. So the best parking for the visitors will be in Lot D.
And make sure you bring a card, because it's all cardless. It's a cashless, you know, it's card transaction, it's cashless stadium. And I think, you know, the week one parking was $30. So definitely be prepared to, you know, pay $30 for parking if you want to park in Lot L. So what you got? What you say, Rick? So Rick says, you already know I'll be there when you get there, bro. Got my hotel around the corner, biscuits and gravy. My wife won't fix that for me. I have to go eat. I have to go out to eat.
Well, I know you'll be. I know you'll be with us because you took my parking pass, brother.
Got it.
I wouldn't lose. Hey, I wouldn't lose it. Hey, to lose it to you, I wouldn't. That doesn't mind, man, because you know what? You travel all the way down here, man, and. You know what I mean? Even though we might put a little bit of a little fire on those flags that you're flying in my parking lot.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. But man, you know, like they, you know, who says, you know, I think of some prolific guy says all good things must come to an end, you know, and it's almost our time. You know, it's that time for us to come to an end. We had a really great show. Definitely give a shout out to everyone that, you know, was in the comments. Rig, appreciate you. What? 12,000 miles.
Oh, these guys were driving, man. These guys were driving. Him and the Predator couple, man. They were driving, man. They drove their ass.
I can't even believe that. listen, that's like a year of since COVID. That's about a year's worth of my drive. 12,000. God damn. I salute you. Double salute. Yeah, that's impressive. And I like that type of, show of fanism, fandom for your team. But yeah, you got any more shout outs?
No, man. I mean, I just, like I said, man, shout out. You know what? Also to the Renegades, man, the Renegade players. You know what I mean? I love those guys. I love those guys, man. A lot of those guys right now, man. There's 24 of them that I do know kind of personally. I mean, that I can go up and talk, and they won't shy away from talking to the fans, man. So don't be shy, man. I mean, you go up there, and I'll even give you guys a tip. Go to their side when it's the last 2 minutes of the quarter. Man, if I was you guys, I'll start making my way towards that end where they're at. Because if you want to if you can catch them to give autographs, and you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they give away their gloves, man. You know what I mean? Gloves, their towels. So you know what I mean. Just let you know, you guys can go down there. You know what I mean? They won't shy away from you guys.
Nice. So I'm gonna let you, you're gonna close out the show because you gotta pop it off you gotta pop your shit with that hat, you know what I'm saying? But hey, definitely give a shout out to everybody that supports the brand. Shout out to the Banditos, shout out to the Arlington Renegades, Hell Raiders, Oklahoma, UFL group, Facebook group. I might be misstating that right now, but I'll get it right. I appreciate y'all. Y'all just made me moderator, approved all the content. So definitely give a shout out to the Renegades. All the fans, let's ride, let's mount up. Shout out to STWF brand, and we got a new website coming out. So a lot of big things coming up. Appreciate y'all. It's Unc, and I got to go get me.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Shout out to STF for everything, man. We'll get to see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in every Wednesdays and Fridays, guys. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's right out.
Find this podcast and others on STWF TV, the podcasting network, wherever you get podcasts.